I muted myself. 1 second, y'all. Okay. Well, this may be the first and last time I use these microphones because that one showed 100% when I started, and now it's not. So that is interesting. All right, you should be charging, you son of a bitch. And supposedly charging by the, oh, no, see, green light. Oh, so I got an amber light, I got an amber light, and it goes amber, 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 and green. That's really weird. I do not know why it's doing that. Okay, so I'm gonna go back a little bit. So yeah, should have been on Tuesday, and I will keep an eye out on the charging or the status of my, there we go. Thanks, Shlomi. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, this may be the, this is concerning. Let me flip it around here. Let's see. Yeah, that's weird. I've already replaced one of these mics, so I don't know. These Shure mics got high marks on Amazon, but I'm not sure exactly why that one's not popping up like it is now. Now, see, this one's already down to 95%. Interesting. These may be piece of shit mics. So let's see. Okay, it's on, and yeah, see, they're showing 100% on both now. You're probably getting two echoes. Apologies on that. Weirdness. Weirdness, brothers. Anyway, let me turn that one off. There we go. All right, let that one continue to charge. Yeah, so my cat, yesterday I was supposed to be on as normal Tuesday to Friday, but my cat had to go in for a procedure at 8:30 in the morning. I had to go pick my cat up. Everything is fine. She's got destructive rhinitis. So apparently in cats, that's a thing that cats have. And yeah, so she had to be anesthetized, and she walked around like she was all drunk and everything. And had to take care of her. So apologies for that. Anyway, yeah, so I got gaslit by a ticketing system at work. So, and I think this is a larger discussion about over automation or being unaware of the automation that is running on your systems. We have a ticketing system at my organization, actually one of a few ticketing systems that we have, including your Jiras and what have you, but we have an internal ticketing system that is another system that I will not mention because it will out me as where I work. This system is part of a legacy system. It's almost on its third generation. And so there's a lot of things going on in the background, a lot of things that, you know, are used by many, many organizations. And one of those things is the ability for the logic in the system to set things like estimated completion dates and when this ticket needs to be completed by. And so this morning during stand-up, I had actually said, I have a list of tickets that don't have these things. And I had created a list of those things, and I went through and I was looking at them, and I was like, oh, look, one I did yesterday no longer has estimated completion date in there. To which somebody was like, well, go look at the audit trails, because like any good ticketing system or any system that has logging, you should have an audit trail to be able to go, oh, who did what, who maintained, you know, who modified this, who did this thing. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went in, I looked at the ticket, I'm not in the ticket. So of course it looks like I ain't done shit, right? So in the stand-up meeting, when I was screen sharing, I made a change to the ticket, verified that it was in the audit trail, went on our merry way. 6 hours later, literally just before I got on the stream here, went back in, looked at the ticket that we had called up specifically for this. Need by date, ECD are gone, nothing in the audit trails. Something's modified the audit log, which is, that's concerning. That's actually a bigger concern than the fact that it looked like Brian didn't do shit. And looks like nobody's touched the ticket in months. So I posted up in our internal Slack here. I was like, you know, here's screenshots from the ticket that we touched this morning showing that I ain't done shit to this ticket in months. And I was like, it's good to be gaslit by ticketing system. So that's concerning, the fact that ticketing system is reverting tickets. So I've definitely got to raise that as a issue, because if you don't have a good log of who is touching your tickets and what has been done to the tickets, and you know what, some things in the ticket look like it still exists. Interesting. I'm going to modify, I'm going to add something to the communication on the ticket to see if it will actually hold that log. Need a status, need an update on this ticket, please. Including a new ECD of when this will be addressed. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, so I've got that in that ticket. I will be right back. I think the solar guy, the other thing that's going on in the house is I've got a partial home backup going on right now, and I think the solar guy just knocked on my door. I will be right back. If you're lucky, you'll actually be able to hear me talking to the solar guy, because I just realized I have not disconnected my lapel mic. So we're doing a remote. You just can't hear me and see what's going on.
Breakers.
Right on.
It's already mounted. I told you it was going to be mounted.
Sure.
It looks a little off balance, but the thing is that this is balanced and that box. So I was like, dang, I kind of wanted to make it so it wouldn't be an eyesore with the box on top, but I was like, you know what, I'm just going to make it level, because if I make it crooked, even put that little pipe or whatever I do right here is going to have to be a little, you know, so I just made it level. This is just going to be the wire shot through, still needs to be labeled.
Okay.
Right from here to here, we spoke about.
Right on.
And
Excellent.
We got the base of it.
Okay. So y'all will be back around 9 a.m. tomorrow? Cool. All right.
You know,
sounds good.
That's
the plan.
Yeah, you never
okay.
know what goes on. I wanted to ask guys, is it cool if I just leave the wire right here on the side?
My wife will be driving in.
Right.
Cool. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, she would have noticed. I think probably should have crashed into it. She's got backup cameras and stuff, so hopefully it notified her. So I was actually more worried about all your stuff that was behind her car. I was like, oh God, I hope she didn't run over your stuff.
Me too. Like, so hopefully she didn't run it over and like.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but by then she left. I was like, oh, crap. Okay. I hope that she didn't.
All right. I mean, at least for what it's for, and we're making progress. So
okay.
It should be good.
Right, and we'll give it a test tomorrow as well. So, right on. Y'all have a good day, and yeah, take care and be safe. Yep. All right. Okay. Well, maybe y'all heard that. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how far the mics work on the Shure system here. So, my headset is connected. All right. All right, sorry about that, y'all. Don't know if you heard any of that, but yeah, I was working on the partial home backup to my solar system, solar panel system. There you go. So, yeah. Oh, and as if I don't have enough shit to do, my phone came today, so I have the new Pixel XL Pro replacing my Pixel 6. So I've got a ton of shit going on, which is fun. But yeah, I'm glad you're here. Glad everybody's watching. Glad everybody's listening. As you heard the solar guy saying that he was going to be done tomorrow. So that's a long time in coming. I have the Pro XL is about the same dimensions as the Pixel 6. I mean, they're roughly about the same dimensions. This one's a little fatter than this one. This is my 6. This is the Pixel XL Pro. I'm using the cable to make the transfer of the 85 gigs a little faster. I have to swipe up to go home. There we go. Interesting. Battery saver is off. Oh, it's still probably populating things. So, oh, there it goes. Yeah, it's slowly filling in my applications, including my Tesla. I'll have to register the Tesla to the car, to the phone and whatever. But yeah, I'm interested in the Gemini AI system. I haven't paid for it, so I'll get whatever the free version is, and we'll see. Yeah, I didn't want, I figure it's 3 years and upgrading, so I didn't want to deal with going with the smaller version, whatever the smaller version is. We're probably talking like millimeters or whatever. But I figure every 3 years, if I'm upgrading, then it's going to be fine. Because starting with, I think, the 5 or the 6 on the Pixel, you get like 5 years of updates. So, I mean, that's great. I don't know if we are getting the Gemini AI stuff. That's kind of cool. I'll have to give it a try. I'm trying Copilot. I'm trying, I have tried. My problem is I come from the old school. Google dorking. So when I'm Googling something, it's like, what's the capital, Montana, whatever. Trying to put that into verbal is really different for me. It's like, hey Google, what's the capital of Montana? Which is Helena, I believe. But yeah, it's interesting because I Google dork a specific way to get answers to things I want. The output from the Google search engine and the output I want from Google AI or the Gemini system is different. Yeah, it's just interesting and different. It's not wrong. It's just, there's something else. So my applications are slowly filling themselves in, including my smart home system, my podcast stuff, my maps. Oh, speaking of that, if you're going to go to, I know some of you, Shlomi, for instance, I don't know if you go to Blue Team Con, which is going to be in Chicago, United States, but I managed to pick up some stickers. Now, these stickers, damn, that green screen thing, man, just gets me every time. Because see, I have my green screen up, so. But there's writing on there that should say BreakSec Education. I had meant to have these for DEF CON, and I didn't get those. And they didn't show up until I asked Canva, hey, what the fuck, where's my stickers? And they're like, oh, sorry, they must have gotten lost in shipment. Here's a new 500 pack. So they sent me a roll of stickers. And so I manually cut all these up into 100, and I'm sending 100 of these to Blue Team Con with a friend of ours who will be at a table. So, sticker life, what have you. But I was also looking at things like coins or, challenge coins or poker chips or something that other people like to trade. So that way, people can, connect with the community a little better for longtime patrons and people who like our moderators and Lady P and folks like that who've helped behind the scenes for long periods of time. We might get something a little special for them in addition to getting a coin, so or poker chips or whatever it is that we're going to get. So looking forward to seeing. See, my battery is still 95%. Okay, good. So yeah, looking at designing something, or, cool enamel pins, something like that. I hear people like merch. I hear people like to buy things. So maybe some new t-shirts. Shlomi, yeah, we'll see what we can do for our folks outside the United States as well. Cause we've got, Age in Music, and we've got a bunch of other folks that are, outside the United States. And yeah, the fact that y'all stay up late to watch my stream is amazing, and I'm humbled by that, because we know that there's many other streams that you could watch of higher quality that are there. So, but I definitely appreciate the people who definitely join and are here for the lulls and to watch me screw something up and infect my computer. So, yeah. So there we go. I did see something interesting on the news, in the news, about a Linux bug that is affecting Windows. Where is it? Is this it? No, that's it. No, okay, so I posted that up into Slack. Let me see, where is that? I put it in our news of the day bits. It says something has seriously gone wrong. Dual booting systems warn after Microsoft update. And, you know, we will get to the malware. I just found this interesting. So as Microsoft begins or has, you know, continued to more tightly integrate and to make itself more open source friendly, including things like Windows Service for Linux, Windows Services for Android, you know, the ability to run, you know, Hyper-V with, you know, being a hypervisor kind of thing. There is a vulnerability in Grub, which for those of you who don't know is an open source bootloader that is used to start up many Linux devices. So not necessarily IoT devices, they would use a different system altogether, but Debian and Ubuntu, your local laptops. If you're dual booting, for instance, this might affect you. So they said an update that Microsoft issued as its monthly Patch Tuesday, which, as you know, with UEFI, a lot of the patches that come through Windows updates, if you're running the Windows side, can actually do things like patch your BIOS and run commands for your UEFI, which is the Unified Enhanced Firmware Interface, UEFI. Unified Extensible Firmware Interface, my bad, not extended, extensible. So yeah, it's this 8.6 out of 10, made it possible for hackers to bypass secure boot, which is not a good thing. The industry standard for ensuring devices run Windows or other operating systems don't load malicious firmware or software during the boot process. So it's an enclave, if you will, to create trust in the fact that you're not having something maliciously side load like a firmware bit or whatever. So 2022, 2601, but 2022 being the year, there was a buffer overflow, according to Red Hat here, in grub font construct glyph, which can lead to an out-of-bound write and possible secure boot bypass. It is a CNA from Red Hat. It's an 8.6, and yeah, so Windows decided, hey, it's time to patch that shit. And unfortunately, it's causing some issues in dual boot systems. No longer able to boot into the ladder when secure boot is enforced. So when users try to load Linux, they receive a message verifying shim SBAT failed, security policy violation. I seem to remember getting that error previously when trying to dual boot a system, and it had something to do with regenerating keys, or there's some other issue there. So I don't know if they had a workaround for that. So yeah, Microsoft maintaining radio silence. Those affected by the glitch are forced to find their own options. One option is to access the EFI panel and turn off secure boot. Depending on the security needs of the user, that may not be acceptable. Better short term is to delete the SBAT that Microsoft pushed out last Tuesday. This means users will receive some of the benefits of secure boot even if they remain vulnerable to the attacks. Steps for this are remedied outlined here. So this was an interesting issue where a Linux fix borked Linux because you're using Grub. Now, Grub is not the only bootloader available. It is by far probably the most popular. You know, there are other open source bootloaders. And you see, if I was using Gemini or I was using an AI, I would have to be like waiting for it to tell me what open source bootloaders are. And so there's several here. I mean, some of these I've never heard of before. But yeah, some Darwin, you know, if you're using Apple, then you're using Darwin's bootloader. You might have seen that one a few times. I've seen GAG before. That's old school one. Grub, yes, GNU Grub. Let's see, Lilo. Lilo is an older one that you could use back in the day. I remember that one. But yeah, Refit is another good one. Yes, yes, yes. That one's especially if you're wanting to dual boot your MacBook for things like boot camp back in the day. I don't know if you can do that now because newer Macs only have ARM architecture, so I don't know if Windows will run on ARM yet, or the specific version I'm talking about. I don't have a Mac, so I can't tell you if they do or not. Okay. All right, so most of my apps have been filled in, current. Cool. I'll have to give those a shot. My trade-in kit is coming. They actually gave me $400 off of my my Pixel 6, so that wasn't bad. But I'll have to test things out and make sure that everything works before I send my other computer. Oh, yes, like my. Look at that. Okay, so it did. So I use Aegis for my 2FA keys and stuff. So my 6-digit codes for my 2FA seems to have sent everything over. So I'll have to try something that has 2FA enabled on it before I do that. Also, I'll make a backup of my 2FA seeds on my old phone before I do that. Oh, the other thing, in case you missed it when the stream started, there is apparently some leftover human badges for DEF CON. So if you didn't get to go to DEF CON and you are human, you can go and grab a badge. Apparently they are available for $160. Now, I will say, before I make any comment, that's a little steep. It has the brand new Raspberry Pi 2350 chipset. So I don't know how, and I think there was like 30,000 of these. I think DEF CON petitioned Raspberry company, the organization that runs Raspberry, to run with the 2350. What are you doing? Hey, excuse me, madam, excuse me. Oh my God. Okay. Well, I'll just let you stick around up here. So yeah, it's a M33 core, DSP instructions run at 150 megahertz. So yeah, there's actually ARM trust zone, a lot of cool stuff and data sheets in here. So if you are interested, I'm not sure about the availability of these in normal Raspberry Pis, but you get in a very attractive carrying case. There's actually, you can flip it upside down. It looks like a cabinet. You can flip it upside down and make it a game. If you saw my last stream, I actually showed my Goon badge, which is very similar to that. There is new firmware for the 1.5 that may be loaded on this one. I don't know if they'll upgrade to 1.6. There were some issues on that one, but it is USB-C and rechargeable lithium-ion battery. In case you don't want to deal with a spicy pillow, the lithium-ion, it will run on USB-C. I would say don't use the SD card that comes with it unless they've given you an upgraded SD card. I have heard things about the quality of the SD cards. Maybe they're not so good. So get a decent SD card for that as well. But it does have an IR port, has an RTC touchscreen. If you put, I want to say they put Symbian OS or something on it, but you can actually put a different firmware or different OS on it, and the touchscreen does work. And so, yeah, it's, pretty cool. It's going to be limited edition. I know that they had some DEF CON 31 badges at DEF CON 32 this year, but that's not a guarantee. So if you really like the badges and you didn't get a chance to go, get a little piece of DEF CON, and just because I gooned there, they're not paying me to say that stuff. So, but it is cool. I haven't actually turned mine on. At some point I will, probably won't. But it's all in there. So, and you can see the games credits. They've got all the people in here about who created all of the firmware and everything. So yeah, go and grab that. And it's still available online, so you can buy it online and they'll ship it to you. I wonder if they have any more merch. me see. Nope. Let me see. Yeah, no, the only thing they have on there is is the badge. There's literally nothing else. Our shop will reopen September 1st with all the other items. Oh, okay. So if you're waiting for a shirt, maybe you didn't get to go to DEF CON, other stuff will be available September 1st. Okay, that makes more sense. All right, that's good. God. Somebody replied. No. Okay. I'm going to go back to the ticketing system to see if the audit logs updated with, hey, Brian touched this ticket. So audit trails. Correspondence. Okay, so it did update with a changed field with correspondence. Interesting. Maybe it saves some things, but not others. I don't like that. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. Shut that mother off. Anyway, so yeah, those were, that's some interesting discussion here about this Linux bug. If you're dual booting, you may already be having issues, so it might make sense to not update everything in your system. Yes, I know it was delivered. Thank you very much. Okay. The screen looks nice. It's a little bit sharper than my 6, but it is almost 3 years old. So, and I also don't use. I also have battery saver on normally because I don't like to. The clear case. I got it like an aftermarket case. I wish that Google would ship all of their shit at the same time, because if I bought a phone, then I get like $200 of store credit. The cases in Google Store don't exist yet. They're pre-order, and I'm like, I'm not gonna walk around with a phone that doesn't have a case on it, because I'll drop shit, and I don't want to ruin my brand new ass phone. So I have one that I got from Amazon that works. What's this down here? Ooh, that's a new port. What is that thing there? Interesting. What in the hell? Is that a fingerprint thing? I don't know. There's on the Pixel 9 Pro, there's a little button thing. I guess I could go back to the big ass screen. Here we go. So on the 9, there's this thing down here. There's like 2 buttons or something that looks like it's down there. I don't know what that is. And of course, it's got a SIM slot as well, but I haven't used a SIM in forever. I have an eSIM because I use Google Fi, which is the telecom provider for, it's an MVNO, so it's a middleman kind of thing, but it runs on the back of T-Mobile, which works well enough for me. But yeah. All right, let's go and analyze some malware, because I'm probably boring people to tears. So, all right. So for those of you who aren't aware, we've been following along with Jeff of All Trades, who may or may not be on the stream right now. I don't know. He tends to like hanging out because he's a good dude. That is the video we're going to be watching. This is the episode where we've already went through and set up the monitoring tools. We were running the X-worm sample, which okay. All right. Thank you, bro. I didn't want it to start playing. I wanted it to. Here we go. Trimming the grass. That's okay, man. Oh my goodness. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Yeah. So a couple of things that I learned is I've already rebuilt this sandbox twice, because you have to go back in and restore your snapshots. So if you want to go back in and do all that, yeah. So you go back in, look at your current states. Hey, GoPro, I appreciate you. You're listening and streaming it on Discord. Well, I appreciate you, GP. I heard, did I hear correctly, GP, that you were at DEF CON? We didn't get to meet. I was in a red shirt, so most people try to avoid looking at us goons, but I didn't know if you were at DEF CON or not. So you were in Vegas, but you didn't attend. Okay, that's cool. I'd heard Tiberius was there as well. I didn't have a chance to see him either because I was at Dead and I went to Dead and Co at Sphere. Ah, okay. Yeah, I'd seen on Twitter people who had gone to the Sphere. They were actually confiscating the badges as you were walking into the theater or walking into the venue, with the idea that you get them back when you're done. And so people were like, oh yeah, they're confiscating the badges because I guess they didn't trust them or what have you. Yes, they made them put them in lockers. Yeah. A sensible precaution. We don't, they didn't know what the badge was doing. It was a device of unknown origin. No trust, which I can't blame them, to be honest. So it makes complete sense to me. It's nice that they took care of them and allowed people to get them back when they were done. So I had made some updates. Yeah. Trust but verify. I mean, if I was in their place, I would have done the same thing. So let me see. Nope. Nope. I was actually reading this article about storytelling because, as we tend to want to do, we try to explain things to management in terms of stories or being able to get things done. And so there we go. Okay, and so I need to go. My wife's back for groceries. Were they out of the driveway? Is that everything in the car? Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, they left just now. They'll be back in the morning at 10 o'clock. So about the overtime, I guess. So. All right. I'm analyzing some malware right now. So I'm analyzing some malware on stream, so sorry about that. My wife came back with groceries, so I had to make sure I was a good, at least try to help out. So thank you, GP. Appreciate you. Wow. Oh, and there we go. Angie's got a subscription. Yeah. So there was several things that they talked about doing and don'ting in terms of storytelling. And I was reading this and I found it interesting, things that you can do to help people understand why we need to do things like fixing a problem or fixing an issue that comes up in like a bug bounty or what have you. Trying to make it relatable, trying to keep it short because you don't want to ramble too much. Painting a picture of your character, describing who these people are and why the people should care about these things. Not necessarily what they look like or what they wear, but trying to get people to elicit a response to that. Like, maybe the product you've got is child related. So you'd want to, show how this might affect somebody's child or what have you. And so, yeah. I think it's part of a podcast or a book. So yeah, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel with more information about that. But anywho, yeah, thanks GP. I appreciate that. I don't get a lot of subscribers, so I appreciate that. Oh, did I post up the 2350 specs? No, I did not. So let's go ahead and do that too. Okay, there we go. All right, so close that, close that, close that, close that. Yeah, completely non sequitur, but if you're a fan of Brandon Sanderson's Mist series or Mistborn series or Stormlight series, he's actually got a Kickstarter for his Cosmere RPG, which is now like $9 million funded. So if you're interested in that, I think there's about a handful of days left to get involved in that. And so this is some of the articles is you're going to see in the book about how to craft items using sprens. I don't know what those are. It's part of the series I'm going to have to read at some point. But yeah, if you're interested in RPGs of any kind, you know, you can go check those out and see, you know, how you can help Brandon get richer than he already is, because he's mega successful right now. So, all right, so we are.
Where we have our capture bat capturing.
Okay.
Save folder, and we should see
Turn that up a little bit.
captured 3 different files that were in C users.
There we go.
The path we saw on that PowerShell script, the original one. And they
All
actually
right.
they were not deleted, they're still there.
So I want to skip ahead because we've already done the XWorm stuff. Let's see, using procmon to find the key. No, wait, we already setting up the monitoring tools, XWorm sample, watching the malware run in memory, executing the payload PESIV, procmon to find the keylogger log, yes, decompiling this DNS spy, inetsim, examining the strings. Okay, so there was still some stuff we can see in the video here. I think, as a matter of fact, I think this is as far as we got in the last video. There's a lot of things that I don't quite understand about different facets of this. So, talking about .NET, you know, I believe he mentioned some injection points here.
This code, if you look through, actually, let's do this. I'm not going to get into .NET reversing right now, but if you look at the other videos we've done with async rat king parser, we talk about this quite a bit. You can go here, look at the entry point.
Yeah, see the entry point.
You'll see a section that looks like this,
which is
a configuration. And if we go here, this is our encrypted configuration right here, and we can see the log file taken right there.
Log temp.
Maybe thinking, why didn't we make a module for XWorm in the rat king parser video we did? I was thinking that same thing. I think we should probably add it. It's slightly different, so I don't think it's going to be an easy one-to-one mapping like we did with async rat and DC rat, but I am planning on taking a look at this later to see if we can implement it. But that's neither here nor there for now. For now, all you need to know is that this is an encrypted config, and if we wanted to decrypt it, we could either look online and see if there is a decryptor for it, or we can cheat, use dnspy to set a breakpoint here. In fact, let me blow this up. I'm sorry, I just realized this is probably quite small.
So he's using, what is this, dnspy to create breakpoints in the .NET. Okay. Okay, well, because I don't have this running,
you to look at.
You're going to create a breakpoint in your .NET.
By simply right-clicking and setting breakpoint, or
the
hotkeys, or clicking on the line. We can run it in dnspy, and we should be able to break right when this conversion happens so that we can check the converted value. So let's see what happens once we step over this line. Well, we've got ourselves a C2 server at duckdns.org. We've got ourselves a port. We've got ourselves some kind of key. I don't know what that is, to be honest. I haven't looked at the XWorm configuration. We've got a pretty good identifier. So if we were not sure of what it was before, we are pretty darn sure now.
Right.
We've got a file name, usb.exe, which is interesting. And we've got a app data directory, which is
location, right?
.exe itself. So
roaming, yeah.
A bunch of great indicators we can use for detection.
Okay. So let me, you know what? Okay. So before I do anything stupid here, let me go ahead and I've made a snapshot. Let me make another snapshot here. There we go. That way, if something goes wrong, I can just revert real quick. Capture Pi. We've got all the necessary bits that we need to have running here. Let me see. Okay, so shared folders, because I need to pull the malware stuff that I'd already pulled down. And let's see, VirtualBox VMs, and then VBox shared, and then mount point, auto mount. There we go. All right, so okay. Then we will go Shift E. VBox shared, and then the malware is zipped malware. Here's xworm. Copy. And I may end up having to. What am I doing? Okay, yeah. Get confused here. Copy, paste. All right, there we go. There's xworm. 7-zip. Extract files to xworm. And it's infected. There we go. Of course, you see there's xworm, and it's a PowerShell script with the the valid bits here. Okay. Oh, and also disconnect my shared folder so that I don't own myself up left, right, and center per discussion. There we go. Make sure my network is not anything other than, okay, so internal network sandbox. Two very important things that Jeff reminded us to do. That way we don't own ourselves or our network before we blast ourselves with this on the VM. So there's a few things that I need to start running. I'm going to run PyPy. Let's see here. And then so Python. All right. Yes, so the save directory, right? So we're going to call it capture directory. Oh, right. So it was app roaming. So let me go and grab the. Lab user. App data. Wait, let's go back here.
Let's head over to.
I guess we're going to set up monitoring tools. We probably should do it right.
And PowerShell and other
Yes.
Called save.
There's user public. That's what it is. User public.
In the background. Let's go ahead and open up Command Watcher.
Okay.
If you remember, this is the one from Kahoo Security that monitors VBS and PowerShell and other scripting type languages running. And it's really nice for deobfuscating scripts or checking scripts as they run.
And then we just call it save.
Open that. I'm going to open process spawn control, but I'm going to save that for last because it tends to suspend all my other tools as well. So that PowerShell script.
I had a lot of problems with the process spawn control, like hanging, which I'm thinking if you're analyzing malware, then that's going to be. Wow. Okay, so my Windows just aborted. So that's always good. I'm sure that's I'm sure that's normal. Thinking that probably shouldn't have happened, but it's Windows 10, so I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt here. So. Anybody analyzing any malware? Anything interesting recently? Here we go. All right. Well, at least it saved, saved things, so I didn't have to worry about losing the bits that I had made already. Let me see. Ping 10.10.10.3. Okay, so it sees the inet sim. It was when I tried to there we go. Okay, so that was the issue. All right, so that seems to have fixed itself. Hey, IPO. I just used lab user because I think that's what Jeff had put as his name for his user as well. So, okay, so it didn't like that. All right, that's because I'm not desktop. You're more on DevOps stuff. Okay, that's interesting. So I'm trying to run this. Maybe I shouldn't have used py.exe. Maybe I should just go Python. And then hopefully it stays quiet and I don't have to analyze anything soon. Well, you know, and do you want it to be, you know, quiet and boring and, you know, feeling like you haven't, you know, done anything important? Interesting. I thought it was going to give me back my... No, you want it to be quiet. You don't want to have to analyze malware, especially if the malware is inside your own, you know, house, if you will. So, all right. Okay. So let me double check. Analyze workflow. Check the script. Okay. Already checked the script. Setting up the tools.
Will suspend every new process that gets started and prompt you to either...
I hate it. You're not good at it. Well, you know.
If you have malware that's, you know, unpacking...
Yeah, I think analyzing malware is somewhat of a niche thing, right? It's not necessarily something you're going to hire for in-house. It's kind of a, I don't want to say it's an acquired skill, but it's one of those things where you're like, okay, I want to be curious, but I want to be safe when I'm doing it. So like Jeff, you know, dealing with DevOps stuff, maybe malware analysis isn't his day job, but he's interested in how and why things got owned, right? .NET is begging to get reverse engineered. Yes, it is, AstroKate. As a matter of fact, in this video, which I've posted up, but I'll post again another link here, there is some some tooling in here, and we actually are going through an encrypted .NET file. So.
And it tries to start a new process. You can halt it, dump it to disk, and then continue.
Mostly vendors are the ones who have the full-time REs. Yeah, exactly.
Do that prompt.
Because the other thing is like, are you going to allow, and I'm not saying there aren't talented people on Blue Team and DevOps and what have you, but you've got to isolate things, right? And you sure as hell don't want to be analyzing this stuff on a work computer because there might be additional endpoint security stuff. I mean, you have to pretty much violate IT policy to analyze the malware on your system. Or hopefully have a spare system that you can do that on, which pretty much means you're going to be moving it over to something you may own, so that you don't own your company's network. But then you've got people who are like, oh, I really know how to analyze malware, when in fact they don't, and they're going to cause more problems than they actually are. So it is somewhat niche, and you know, I don't want to say should be left up to professionals, because I am one of those people that want to learn how to do that, and I'm doing it in as safe a way as I can by using Jeff's tutorial here.
Everything you open. And let's go ahead
right.
and Wireshark. We will have iNetSim running.
So I have a fairly beefy VM, but I even found my stuff kind of slowing down because of that. Because of all the Wireshark and all that stuff as well.
Look at the web. That.
So.
Described it in
process monitor.
Wireshark, but for processes.
Right.
So
process monitor.
All the different file system and registry and network operations happening for a process, but it does this.
Well, so, you know, it's not the vigilante justice. I was thinking more along the lines of people who wanted to, you know, when the hacking back thing was, I don't know, was that 2013, 2014, and everybody's like, oh, companies should be allowed to hack back at the attackers. And more level-headed folks in the industry were like, you know, you're gonna hit an IP address that's some nursing home that the bad guys are Tor VPNing through or something like that. Your company is going to bring down a nursing home or a hospital because the attackers are pivoting through this network. You're going to be the bad guy because your company brought down a hospital network because you thought you could hack back against those things. people have the wrong attitude towards malware. Everyone should have a few payloads ready at all times. Okay. I think so. I think I know Kate. I think I know Kate. I think I know Kate. Interesting. Yes, I think I know Kate. Okay. Well played, Kate. It's good to see you. Oh my God. Yes. My ass is sweating now. It's not because air conditioning's not working effectively. All right, so we'll continue on with the video.
For every process, so
because it's been a few weeks and I want to make sure I get this right when I'm doing it.
now typically what I used to do.
So we're going to do process monitor files. I like the idea of process monitor because it allows you to filter things out.
You know, a process name like PowerShell.exe or.
So yes, he remembered process start.
By process name.
So we've got process name, process start.
To the fact that the newest version of Procmon has this wonderful filter called process start.
Filter
so
process start.
Set it based on time.
Based on time.
If we go anything started after time, and that should filter out all the kind of like background noise and just focus in on what's going to happen when we run this thing. So let's keep that running in the background. What else? We want System Informer, previously known as Process Hacker, and you can see I captured a bunch of info on that as it started up. So let me clear that out. And what else? I think that'll actually do it. This is typically
clear that because it's System Informer.
Sorry.
System Informers.
A ladybug literally crawling on my screen, and it looked like it was something on my.
I may have to filter out System Informer at some point. The idea that, going to run into some issues there. Hello, Astrocat. Filter. And so I will also, let's see. Let's see here. Category command line. Command line. Looking for process name. There it is. Process name is System Informer. Does that even work? Maybe not. Exclude. No, include. Apply. There we go. So hopefully I won't see System Informer in here anymore. Potentially might be something that I would want to add back, but considering that I am
I regret to
going to get a lot of noise from System Informer.
Get a cup for that ladybug. It is gasp. It's because I found it. Anyway, let's go ahead and apply that.
Wait a minute, he added one more. PowerShell.exe.
Apply that. We should be ready. Let's go ahead and start up our fake internet. INetSim.
Back it up. Process name, yes. Process name is PowerShell.exe.
Because I'm getting a lot of noise. So let's go ahead and apply that.
Right.
We should be ready. Let's go ahead and start
there we go.
Fake internet. INetSim. Make sure that runs everything. Yep, okay.
Did he run sudo? Yeah, sudo INetSim. So sudo INetSim will allow you to good God. Okay. There we go. That ties to, lower ports, 80, 443, what have you. There we go.
INetSim. Make sure that runs everything. Yep, okay.
There we go.
I was waiting to start process spawn control because
Command watcher.
Command watcher and process spawn control turned on. You'll see this in a second. They compete with each other because they're both monitoring for new stuff happening, and one of them will log what the other one's doing and vice versa. So it gets kind of annoying. And I've noticed, I don't know why, but in version 0.4 of Command Watcher,
There we go.
they used to have a manual mode.
I did try to go find .3 of Command Watcher. I can't find it. Apparently they've gotten rid of it. I don't know why. And to his point, it is kind of annoying the manual's not there.
Control first. That's going to set off our
I like
as well,
the idea of process spawn controller, but
so let's clear out all those benign.
it doesn't get rid of the yes nos enough or fast enough, and so I'm going to
You don't have to run all these
probably hold off on that.
This is more benign stuff, probably from process spawn control.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, let's do this while I'm talking. Let me finish my thought. Yeah, you don't have to run all of these tools if you're hungry for RAM or anything else, or CPU or anything else. You can run these one at a time and then go back, restore your snapshot, run the malware.
Yeah, I mean,
go back.
I think we showed on a previous stream where I was running that at the same time, and it would just, this thing would just pop up here in this corner, and I hit yes, 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 but nothing happened. And it's like, well, I'm trying to get things to run properly, and I can't do it without that. So
exclude the PID for PowerShell running process spawn control, so we don't accidentally pick up.
Since I'm not going to run process spawn control right now, then I can always run it again, process spawn control without Command Watcher, to see if it's, you know, there's some kind of conflict there. Seems like there may be a little turf war going on between those two. That may be why it's causing the problem. So
yes, go ahead and run it. Go ahead and run it. Process spawn control.
Okay.
See, some of this is going to be background noise. Some of it's going to be related to the malware. We're just going to keep our eyes peeled for anything that really sticks out as interesting. All this so far is interesting, but nothing that directly points me to, oh yeah, this is definitely the malware doing this.
Okay.
You see a PowerShell window come up, and even though we set our execution policy to unrestricted in the last video, and
yeah, I've already done all that.
Get this prompt fishy about this PowerShell script. Although if they're clicking on this in the first place, maybe they're not so savvy. That tends to be the case.
Right.
And then as quick as it started, it's gone. So let's take a look at procmon, because...
Okay, so go in. I'm going to run with PowerShell. And of course, I'm like Geezer font and Geezer mode because, you know, I need to be able to have all that running. Let me see, where's the process spawn control? It's really weird. I ran it, but it didn't seem to do anything. Turf war is a good fit. Okay, so that's not what I wanted to do. Run with PowerShell. That's really weird. I can't get malware to run on my box. It's not that secure, folks. Interesting. Did I miss something?
On this in the part one window. Yeah, this is definitely.
Oh, I gotta be admin, I bet.
We do see a PowerShell window coming that really sticks out as interesting. Spawn control. You're about to see the actual one. I'm going to exclude the PID for PowerShell.
Okay.
With that, I think we're finally ready. Well,
okay.
Command Watcher, we're finally ready to start our malware.
So
right away we see the actual command, and like I said, they're like bouncers. They're like, hey,
yeah, it's really weird.
You should this guy. You want me to get rid of this guy? Yes, go ahead and run it. Go ahead and run it. Process spawn control. You'll see some of this is going to be background noise. Some of it's going to be malware. We're just going to keep our eyes peeled for anything that really sticks out as interesting. And all of this so far. Oh,
it's already running. It's just Command Watcher's not showing up with anything. So, I should probably start. I got to start. You got to hit start on Command Watcher because I'm an idiot.
We do see a PowerShell. Even though we set our execution policy to
Thank you. Yes, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I didn't hit the start button because I'm a moron. To that point, you know, you're not always going to have Jeff's video. So having a good playbook is important. So, you know, one of the things that I should probably be writing down is the things that I need to do to write that down. And maybe that's where you would have, like, you know, documented, hello, resume process. You might have a notepad or, you know, something on your desktop to go, okay, these are the things you have to run to get your network set up properly. Because I like Jeff. He's good people. He comes in here. He doesn't have to do that. He's cutting grass for F's sake. And, you know, he doesn't want to watch his video over and over again. And it's important to, make sure that you have the same process over and over again, so it's easily repeatable, and that you can, see all what's going on. So you got a conhost.exe. We have libraries.ps1 in our users public, which is great because it shows here on our PyPy that we are collecting artifacts. Already having a better experience without process spawn control, ironically enough. Might be that I'll kill command watcher and then go back in and run ps watcher to make that happen. You know what, Jeff? Go 10 years of audio podcasts, having to edit them yourself, and then you get this disassociative thing where it's like I'm editing, two dumbasses, or one dumbass and two people who actually know what they're doing. The dumbass is me, but it took a long time for me to get over my voice because my voice grates, and it's because it's not rattling up inside my head. I'm hearing it through my two earballs, and so yeah, it's just something that ends up happening. So I guess if I want to stop getting notifications, I just have to stop command watcher. I'm assuming this is, my voice is great. Thank you, Astrocade. I appreciate the flattery. That's a complete lie, but I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So we continue resuming the process. I'm assuming because we run this every 2 minutes, unlike most malware, you're not going to get this nice every 2-minute thing where it's going to continue overwriting the artifacts in the system. Some things may take longer amounts of time, and this won't be as active as it could be. So we will, at some point I can say, we can stop that. So I'm still infected. It's just now I've got all of the artifacts that I need, PS1 bat. So in my save folder, which is, there we go. So I have all of my artifacts right here, and we will continue going through here with Jeffifa. Process monitor is going to have some interesting stuff as well, where you see the DLL and the runtime brokers, service hosts.
Part of these, we
right.
do see it starts conhost.exe.
Conhost.exe. All right, so I can go search for conhost.exe. It doesn't find a conhost.exe. Interesting. It should, but it doesn't. Did I spell it wrong? Process. Oh, you know what? That's probably because well, no, I didn't filter the PowerShell. Let me go grab that. Service host. 85%. Okay. Oh, it's back. Okay. So reg services.exe, resume. So there's a pack.js worker here as well. There's a couple of those. Let me see. I'm gonna leave that running like that, so maybe I can see it when it comes back around. Network. Oh no, I'm not even, okay, wrong one. System informer, process monitor. So you can see the con host right here in the create file map. There was success, so it did log there. Because I filtered all of the, oh, there it goes, 38, there we go, Dante lab user. Very cool, okay. General, so we have OX4, 24 seconds ago, DEP mitigation policy. So when we turned off all of the security stuff, DEP might have stopped this from running. Maybe mitigation policies. Here's your statistics. So it's sent. Its average is 0.04 CPU. 7 megabytes of information was sent. Here's your private bytes. That's kind of cool. Um, So there's a lot of, actually I'm running System Informer regularly on my box that I run my laptop on, just to see things like how much DaVinci Resolve uses in memory or swap, or, you know, what it has access to and what's it's mapped to in memory. It was kind of cool. Normally my Lenovo runs crazy, you know, crazy loud, and turns the fan on when that happens. So yeah, I just don't have to enable that running anymore. So if I had a GPU, it would be in there as well. So all right, so we have our VBS files. Spin, 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 spin. Let's see, kill process. Well, I've done something wrong.
We see a bunch
Right.
of registry and like loading of libraries, but that happens with any kind of executable, really.
Mm-hmm.
What I like to do when there's a lot of noise like this is filter on operation contains write and see if it wrote anything to disk. And look at that, where we have our capture bat.
Let's just kill these processes so they won't start again.
And we should
Search filter host. That's good to know. All right.
Captured 3 different files that were in C
right.
users public, which is the path we saw in that PowerShell script, the original one.
Right.
And they were not deleted. They're
and I don't know what it did.
Take a look at these. This bash script, and it's gonna process spawn
control. All right.
Make sure I want to run Notepad. Looks like that just runs the PowerShell. PowerShell itself looks to be allowed to run. You can see process spawn controls is watching everything I'm doing.
Something's broke. And yet I go back to task manager. All right, something's taken up 100. No, there we go. Okay, so
it looks very similar to the one we saw before.
There we go.
Different. I think the one we saw initially was longer than this, but it looks like it has that same sequence of probably executable data.
Yeah, don't do that.
And
all right.
About what's in the VBS script.
VBS script edit. Okay, so we're gonna go VBS edit.
Notepad to run.
There we go.
Yep. So
yep. So libraries.bat.
Batch. That's all kind of self-referencing. Now, what's interesting is, if you remember, we saw in that original script that it would run every 2 minutes. I think we just hit the 2-minute mark, because now I'm seeing some other stuff happening with sc.exe, push to install, libraries.vbs wants to run. Okay.
Yep. Got that one.
Some cool stuff. So let's do this. Where do I want to focus? Let's focus on command watcher. Since we're going to be running wscript, command watcher is perfect for that. Let's go ahead and allow.
We go into the PS1 file here for this one.
Up here to run.
And of course we see the 4D5A that he had mentioned. It's a start for a.
On system
system's dragging a little bit.
From wscript.
wscript.
Came across, but
yeah, I probably missed that too.
Oh, because this is still waiting for us to allow it to go. So there it goes.
Okay.
Now it's running command.exe and the libraries.bat.
See, process name, wscript.
That PowerShell file, as we saw, there it is.
Man, it's still popping regularly here.
Instance of PowerShell pop up. Let's see what happens next.
wscript.
Give it some time. We could also be monitoring the background. Obviously, we could be monitoring Wireshark and some other stuff. But like I said, we'll focus on one area at a time here. Try to, because there's a lot going on. Services.exe. So this is what's, like I said, this is the .NET service register.
Right.
This usually happens when the malware is trying to run some .NET executable in memory. Very cool. So let's see.
Scheduled tasks, yes.
Entry there.
As you can see, the PowerShell just popped up and left again, so it's rotating itself over and over again.
Process spawn control is probably getting overwhelmed at this point, because I'm seeing that's freezing up.
Definitely is, or was.
So let me do this to help us out.
What I love is the various obfuscation. It looks like they almost tried to obfuscate this by, breaking up the string so that you can't search the entirety of, Windows, Microsoft, .NET, whatever, It's breaking it up so that you cannot.
So let's do that. Actually, I think what I can do is. Oh, and now the 2 minutes started again because I see
Right.
that running again. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and stop command watcher as well, so we're not halting the malware from doing anything. And
Right.
let's just watch what happens in System Informer over here.
Okay.
So is this suspended? No, it's not suspended. So we see PowerShell running again. We see another instance of Reg services. That one has terminated. And I don't see anything else yet. This one is still going, so it might be
Reg services. There's the reg services that is referenced in the PowerShell script we just saw.
Sorry, there's a lot happening. What do we do now? Well, at this point, once I see a new process running,
Right.
again, we don't see a window or anything else going on here. Or I guess, oh, maybe we do. Sorry, that was just waiting there. I think that was, I don't know if that was the malware or if that was process spawn control. I guess we did see a GUI window of some sort there because it seems to be. Okay, never mind. I feel like that would have tipped off the user as well if that was from the malware itself.
Right.
But again, you never know with the user what they're going to think is bad or good or whatever. So, yeah.
And then there's the con host.
Anyway,
Where's the con host that he had?
A new process like this started, and we don't see, any kind of indication of where it is on disk because this was just built basically in memory. We can now turn to our admin level command prompt, go to desktop, and see the power of PE-Sieve, which was another tool I touched on lightly in part 1. So all we have to do is pass a process ID to PE-Sieve, in this case 7008, and it's going to scan that process for any injected executables or DLLs or anything suspicious.
So what he said, PE-Sieve, right? Yeah, okay, so we're gonna run that and then cd desktop and then PE-Sieve PID.
Process ID to PE-Sieve and
Oh, 7. Okay, so we need a process ID.
Scan that process for any injected.
So let's do 7128
suspicious looking
because that was the
that process. And right away we pull out the process itself at this is
there we
the
go.
address it was loaded into and a DLL.
Okay.
In this case, I'm most interested in what the heck this exe is doing in the first place, or what it is.
Right.
Since it's a .NET executable, we can go into dnspy, and I'm actually going to close procmon. Actually, let's actually look real quick before we close procmon and spoil the surprise. Let's focus on this exe.
It drives, I don't want to say it drives me nuts, but it's like, it's kind of unreal that I know that this box is owned and I'm just going on as if nothing happened. If I was a user and this shit was happening, I'd be calling IT immediately. But now I'm running actual commands on this thing. I'm assuming more sophisticated malware would know that you're running these kinds of commands on this and stop it or halt it or what have you.
See here. And let's get rid of our other PowerShell filters, or at least the one that is adding those entries. And did I misspell that? I might have misspelled that. Reg SBS.
Okay, let me go back to, there we go.
Should have
Filters, turn off the PowerShell, turn off System Informer.
So we see a couple.
Let the noise flow.
Files written, which is cool because
yeah.
now we can see. Oops, not Roman.
Yeah, I'd imagine, and again to Jeff's point, I think that's probably why he picked it because it is noisy as shit. So Kazaa, oh my God, Kazaa, that is old school. Wow. Okay, it's impressive.
We also see a temp log being created, which is really cool. Let's see what that's all about.
Let's see, task host, OBE. The pop-up thing's going to get annoying real quick.
It's logging what I'm doing.
Log.temp.
Logger. Okay, so we are getting a ton of great information already just from using these tools.
SVC host, LSAS.
Where things are, command watcher, halting things with process spawn control.
SVCS right there. There's PowerShell.
This with PE-Sieve. Let's go ahead and where do I want to go?
All right, what we're going to go analyze?
My desktop. where PECIV dumped that executable. We could also take it from the directory it was written to,
Right.
app data, but I'll pull it from here. And well,
All right, so dnspy. We're going to go look at dnspy. dnspy, where is it? Sorry, dnspy. There. That's not what I wanted. You know that. There. No, that's definitely not what I want. Come on now. Maybe I shouldn't have it like in Geezer font. Whatever. There we go. Run dnspy here. There we go. All right, so now at least I have what he has on the screen.
Similar to some of the rats we've looked at in like the async rat and the rat king parser video. And this
Yeah, there we go.
is how we can go in here and determine its XWorm just by looking at this code. If you look through
And
this, I'm not going to get into .NET reversing right now, but
right, so we click on that.
We've done with async rat king parser.
And you said we can cheat by putting in a breakpoint right here. And ideally the breakpoint is, like you said, to...
section that looks like this, which is a configuration. And if we
Right.
go here, this is our encrypted configuration right here.
Scroll
This is our
down.
log file taken right there. Now you may be thinking, why didn't we make a module for XWorm in the Rat King parser video we did?
Wait,
I
okay,
was
so
thinking that same thing.
okay, there was... Where did you click? Oh, public static void. Okay, so you clicked here, I think. Where'd you click?
You'll see something, a section that looks like this, which is
Right.
a configuration.
Where's that? Oh,
Right here. This is our
there it
encrypted
is.
configuration right here.
Right.
You can see our log file taken right there.
Log.temp,
Now you may be
right?
thinking, why didn't we make a module for XWorm in the Rat King parser video we did? I was thinking that same thing. I think we should probably add it. It's slightly different, so I don't think it's going to be an easy one-to-one mapping like we did with the async rat and DC rat, but I am planning on taking a look at this later to see if we can implement it. But that's neither here nor there for now. For now, all you need to know is that this is an encrypted config. If
Right.
we wanted to decrypt it, we could either look online and see if there is a decryptor for it, or we can cheat, use dnspy to set a breakpoint here. In fact, let me blow this up. I'm sorry, I just realized this is probably quite small for you to look at. Let's zoom in. Set a breakpoint by simply right-clicking a breakpoint or doing one of the hotkeys or clicking on the line.
Right, and then click start.
In dnspy. And we should be able to break right when this conversion happens so that we can check the converted value. So let's see what happens once we step over.
There we
this
go.
line. Well. We've got
Continue.
ourselves a C2 server at duckdns.org. We've got ourselves a port.
I said continue.
We've got ourselves some kind of key. I don't know what that is, to be honest. I haven't looked at the XWorm configuration. We've got a pretty good
There we go.
identifier that this is XWorm. So if we were
Oh wait, did
sure
I?
what it was,
Oh, that's what it was. Walk.
pretty darn sure.
Go through the next. Yes, step over.
File name.
There it is. Yeah.
USD,
Okay.
which is interesting.
Part of this is just me being unfamiliar with the tools, and I should probably do a better job of doing this stuff outside of streams, so that way it's like Brian doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. 100%. So I'm just stepping over each one of these. So there's 7,000. There's a value of some type, probably an API key kind of thing. Maybe if it's a C2 kind of thing, then it's going to need an API key similar to being able to interact, or hey, I am who I say I am. I wonder if you change that value if things break. I don't know. XWorm, there you go. USB.exe is interesting. So let's back it up a little bit here.
Detection.
There we go.
Now that we know where it was reaching out,
User app data roaming,
to,
right?
What do I say? Wireshark here.
So I didn't have the Wireshark running, but we will. I can run that fairly easily here.
I'm sure there's more telemetry kind of reducing or reduction I can do on here to get rid of some of this noise. But let's do some filtering, I guess, and take a look.
And I can see what's going on.
Was IP? What was it? It's TCP.
There we go.
Port equals 7,000 because that was the port we saw in the malware. Oh,
You can see I've got all kinds of stuff going on here. So
it's because we don't have 7,000 as a port on inetsim, so I'm actually super happy this happened because I can show you.
oh, he mentions okay. So 7,000 is not a port that is on the system there.
So this will be a good point to do that. excuse me, if you go to the configuration, oops, that's not it. That's from our last
So
one.
sudo.
Go to the configuration for inetsim here. Well, before we do
Right.
that, actually, I do want to point out, if you look at this log
Okay.
from our initial run, you will see the DNS connection to inetsim for that duckdns.org. So that's one way you could get that. You could also get it from Wireshark. But secondly, to actually get the malware to think it's connecting to that site on port 7000, we have to go into our configuration. And we have
There we
to
go.
set our dummy bind.
So now you can see the.
Just an extra port we get to set up a service of whatever kind we want. So let's tell inetsim.
There we go. Yeah. So you've got
7000.
mode 1010. Oh.
And let's see what happens.
That's probably something going out to Microsoft Telemetry, msedge.net, obviously,
So let's
live, any of the other stuff. But yeah, there's definitely some weird stuff in here. The duck DNS, which is interesting. The WPAD stuff, which, you know, but
now see some
yeah, there's a lot of garbage. You'd probably want to figure out how to black hole some of that to 127001.
So you could potentially see C2
So let me see.
going back and forth here, although I'm not sure what it's sending at this point. It could be encrypted. There's a number of different things, and we could probably adjust inetsim to make it respond in a more, I guess, non-POP3 way to make it think it's more realistic if we knew what kind of protocol the malware was using. But for now, this is just fine. Okay, I thought I lost my connection there for a second. So that's really neat. If we had any postbacks, for example, right now I'm seeing just a bunch of.
Does the VM with malware have internet access? You might want to turn that off. Yeah, actually, it is connected to Remnix. One of the setups that we went through earlier with Jeff was Remnix is running inetsim, which is the internet for the VM. It's running in a network settings. It's running in an internal network called Sandbox. The only thing it can access is 10.10.10.3, that being this Remnix box, which is the gateway right now. So if I go in and so I can ping 10.10.10.2, which is the Windows box, that is the box that's getting, as you can see down here, you see the activity on the network here that's pinging the Windows box. And then I can go to 10.10.10.3, and I can ping and that's the only thing you connect to. So that's this one here. So, which is this box here, and it's DNS. It's, you know, basically faking an internet connection. Yes, Astracat. I am. Yes, I am loath to want to own myself up. So. Yeah. A couple of things he mentions in his video is to turn off the shared folder when you start trying to blow up malware, to make sure that you're not accidentally putting something in the shared folder, and also that your network connection is always set to internal network, not the NAT that you originally may have set up your Windows 10 box to. So yeah, it's a nice little self-contained world for it to look at. So as you can see, we have quite a bit of stuff going on here, going to 10.10.10.2. I don't know why I'm not seeing anything in Wireshark at this point, since the live capture is in process. Well, we'll see. He did mention, oh, did he actually add, did you add the port?
Treats it like POP.
Right.
Extra port we get.
Yeah, there we go.
Service whatever kind we bind configuration to that site on port 7000.
Right.
We have to go into our configuration.
Cool.
Port 7000. We have to go into our.
All right. It's inetsim. Okay. Sudo etc inetsim. There we go. And he said
and we have to set
Dummy
our
bind
boundaries.
port.
It's basically just an extra port we get to set up a service of whatever kind we want. So let's tell iNet7
There we go.
listen on port 7000, run it again,
Right.
and let's see what happens now.
Okay, so dummy bind port. Okay, why did that not work for me? There it is. Not 70,001, just 7,000. Okay, and then there you go. And you see the dummy port TCP and UDP 7000. There we go. All right, restart. Since we still have things capturing on that, then it should be good to go.
The bottom here, we're getting some traffic. So let's follow this new TCP stream. We've got a POP3 response. That's just the default that iNet7 treats it.
Let me see.
It's treating it like that.
Oh, did I capture something? No, I didn't capture anything. What the hell's going on?
Between our computer,
TCP stream,
attacker computer. So you could potentially see C2
EQ
going back and forth here. Although I'm not sure what it's sending at this point. It could be encrypted.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I'm not getting anything from that. Maybe I need to run it again. There we go. F11 is full screen on Wireshark, just as an aside. That way you're not... So there's a lot going on here. Let me minimize some windows. All right. There is command watcher start. All right, so resume. Okay, so everything's running again, or still running. Don't know why I'm not getting any captured traffic. File. Stop. No capture was connected. Okay. Damn. There we go. Now we're getting something, at least on the loop back, so that's good. Probably stop command watch. Why? I like having to click through buttons. If I didn't, you know. Let me see. Continue without saving. File. Stop. New. Continue without saving. Ouch. Yeah, before it stops me. Actually, I probably would have probably yeeted it into the sun before that would have happened. File. Capture, refresh interfaces. Okay. Yeah, Wireshark should be looking at Ethernet, not loopback. All right, motherfucker. Yes. Should have been on Ethernet, but I didn't see anything on Ethernet either, so that was why I was. I should be seeing something, but I'm not seeing anything. It says absolutely no packets either, so. Network 3, all right. No data was captured, closing temporary capture file, all right. Is there something I'm missing? Is there another one that is getting some traffic on it that I should be aware of? Might also take another 2 minutes for the thing to run. Okay, so I'm just we're gonna twiddle thumbs here for a second and let this set and look like it's doing something. Do, 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 do. Have you tried turning it on and off again? Exactly. Hello, malware. Have you turned it on and off again? Can you see if you open a browser and see if something shows up? Oh yeah, there's some traffic. Hello. All right, so we know we're getting traffic back and forth between 2 and 3. Okay, I love y'all, but I'm gonna have to definitely turn the display settings down a little bit. I mean, I need some geezer font, but damn, you know what I mean? Put it at 150%. Let's not crash. Please don't crash. Daddy doesn't want you to crash. Yeah, definitely we'll filter on that port once now we have some traffic going through. So most of it looks like garbage, but ouch. Most of that just looks like normal garbage. Like going to 80. Yeah, nothing important. Yeah. Let's see. Did I have anything? Okay, so 7,000 is running on that iNet sim, so it should take that information. Yeah, a lot of this is just, Microsoft. Nothing from port 7,000 though, which I find interesting. We've not received any more packets since I closed the browser. Let's see here.
Attacker computer. So you could potentially see C2 traffic going back and forth here, although I'm not sure what it's sending at this point. It could be encrypted. There's a number of different things, and we could probably adjust iNet sim to make.
Is the malware still running in the System Informer? Let's go look at System Informer.
To make it think it's more realistic.
Service host. Reg service is still running.
For now, this is just. Thought I lost my. Okay.
Got con host. I just saw con host.
So that's really neat.
So yeah, it's still running. Just
right now,
no traffic.
Just a bunch of push here, but if we had a post or an HTTP call out or something, we could track that in iNetSim and Wireshark as well.
Right.
So now we've got the malware thinking that it's actually communicating back home, which is really cool. Like I said, I don't know.
250 packets. Nothing has changed. I haven't gained any new packets, any new traffic.
Anything super, crazy there. But let's do this. Let's change. Instead of using the dummy port, let's bind our HTTP service to 7,000 instead.
Oh, System Informer.
Just for this run to see if it responds differently if it thinks it's connecting on HTTP.
Edge services.
So we've got
network. Remote address.
Anything too much different? We're seeing just that.
Nothing is. There it is.
Encrypted data.
Reg services. Yep, I saw that, but it's not going out to that. That was interesting because I saw that in System Informer.
iNetSim, play around with those options, see if the malware changes.
So we did have a port 7,000 connection remotely. There it is.
Ports you have being monitored. But yeah, really cool. It really doesn't matter.
That was interesting.
Looking at Wireshark or iNetSim, because now we really have not the original source code, but pretty darn close to it right here. We could probably run through here, do a more thorough analysis, and
Oh, like 251. Okay. Oh no, that's just the browser thing. Yeah, where we're not. Yeah, weird that we're not seeing it in Wireshark. That is 100% correct. Yeah, the fact that I'm seeing it regularly here. Send sent. Let me see. What's my? Not going to turn or change any network settings. I'm just seeing. It says Ethernet properties. Network 3. Oh wait, I got some more traffic. There we go. We're getting a little more traffic. Oh, that's auto proxy stuff. So that's, yeah, really weird. Really weird. 2 and 3. Okay. Physical address. Yeah. Okay. Public and private. Maybe this is one of those things where I should have ran it before I ran my malware so that I could see all the network traffic going across the way. Yeah, would process monitor filter that network connection out? Let me go see. Filters. Let's turn off all the filters then. Anything. That's gonna blow everything up, but I don't have any filters enabled right now. That procmon, proc accept auto runs. Oh, I didn't have any filters on Wireshark, so shouldn't have been any. No. Close that, minimize that. Jesus. Okay. Finding local interfaces. Ethernet. No, I didn't have any enabled, so. Who has 10? Yeah, here's the ARP request, right? Tell me, okay, 10.10.3 is responding. Here I am. But yeah, nothing from, and I don't have any filters displayed at all, so let me double check here. Yeah, nothing. That is really weird. You know what? Let's go ahead and shut this mother down. Power off the machine. I'll revert this, and we can always start over. Oh, well, no, I really can't do that. You know what? I probably should troubleshoot this offline and see what's going on, because this doesn't make for good streams. So, hey, Digital. Oh, how was DEF CON? DEF CON was fun. I think I mentioned that in the previous stream, but having never been to DEF CON and my first DEF CON experience being one of gooning, which I will tell you, and I've told people before, I don't stand in lines. I am not a chump, and honestly, there should be psychology papers written about the fact that people will stand in line for hours for a t-shirt. DEF CON was great. I wish that my stickers that I got in the last couple of days had shown up for DEF CON, because I would have put them out for people to get. DEF CON is really great. If you are interested, I hear LineCon is part of the thing. You just can't not have LineCon. You're going to be waiting for speakers. You're going to be waiting for something. LineCon is definitely a thing. New venue was really great. Being there at the Las Vegas Convention Center, really open area, plenty of room to expand upon what's, that big area, because they have 300,000 square feet, and we had like, I don't know, 30-ish thousand people. So figure 10 square feet for everybody. Which is, means we've got room to grow and room to add different things. Yes, I did goon on my very first DEF CON. Reason being, and somebody was like, even some of the goons are like, why'd you do that? And I was like, I wouldn't have come to Vegas. They were like, well, why didn't you come before? Because, I have a podcast and I was streaming and stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, you could have got a press pass and whatever. One, I didn't really know how to get a press pass with DEF CON. Two, I don't like Vegas in summer, especially sitting in a smoky casino hotel kind of thing for hours on end. Actually, I didn't find a problem this time with the convention center. It wasn't smoky. And for the most part, my hotel room wasn't either. And to be fair, I hadn't been to Vegas since before the pandemic. So probably the filtration systems and the air conditioning systems were much better. So this time I didn't smell like an ashtray when I got out. Well, I did actually, because the last night I was in the Rio, they turned the air conditioning system. It was like they were sucking up all the casino smoke right up into the rooms. So for about 6 hours, I was inhaling a lot of secondhand smoke and breathing through a pillow to kind of mask, get through any smoke there. But for the most part, it was great. And definitely should suggest, if you haven't been to Vegas for DEF CON, go. The transportation was great. Buses left regularly. Everybody seemed to enjoy themselves, and even the goons said it was very quiet, and we didn't have a lot of, belligerent people or people with attitudes or whatever. So apparently I got off easy on my first DEF CON. So, but I'm looking forward to that next year. They're already doing feedback and after action reports and things on how to improve the space that we had, including chill spaces. We did have a chill space, but it kind of got taken over by people with laptops and people who wanted to take phone calls, which kind of defeated the purpose of the chill space. So we're looking at expanding the chill space, or for like a mental health thing, like if you've been overwhelmed and you deal with social anxiety. So they're looking at adding on additional, maybe another village of maybe somebody that we know to do that. So highly recommended going to Iceland instead of Vegas. Yeah, I've been to Iceland. It's nice. We went in, I want to say it's August or September. We did some horseback riding there. It was 35 degrees and it was freezing rain, but we still went on a horseback ride. I remember my horsey decided I couldn't drive it. It didn't have a steering wheel, and all it wanted to do was go eat. And unfortunately, eating also meant leaning over. So it was like, don't lean over too far because you'll fall right off the horses. And so it was like I was trying to get it to, move, and it was like, yeah, fuck you, brah. I'm just going to have some lunch over here. And so I managed to survive, obviously. But yeah, if you have a chance to go do a horse ride in Iceland, you should definitely go do that. So I have some homework, and I appreciate Jeff being here. I appreciate Astra Kate being here. I do. I really appreciate you being here. Trust me, I appreciate you. It's just really, really kind of a weird thing that I have people I legitimately know, like DW and everybody, being on the stream, and I'll chat with you in later. But it was great having y'all on. I've got some homework. I want to figure out why the Wireshark stuff didn't work. I'm gonna boot that up on my other laptop. I'm actually gonna probably tear down the lab and start over again to see if that's the thing. I do want to continue making progress through this video, because ultimately, like you, like me, I want to not have to have Jeff's video on in the background. And I can be just like, oh, let's start up our lab and we're going to go and, play with this thing from VX Underground or whatever. And so I'm going to poke around on it. Thanks, GoPro Slow Yo, for coming, and thank you for the subscription as well, sir. I appreciate you. You are a quality human being, and people should watch your stream if they can. Definitely give a shout out to GoPro Slow Yo for doing that. Shout out to GoPro Slow Yo. And cool. So I think we should probably go find someone to raid. We had some great times with the last person we did on Tuesday. Let me see. DJ Chateau. Shy Hat. Let's go Shy Hat. raid the Shy Hat. The Shy Hat's been in our stream a few times to say hi. Good person. Go check out the stream. Looks like they're going to be doing web application hacking, so they're going to be practicing some stuff. So go check them out. Have a great day. I'll see you on Friday, hopefully with an answer of why I couldn't get Wireshark to work with the raid stuff, with not the raid stuff, but with the packet capturing. And yeah, have a good day and take care of yourselves. Because I'm fond of saying, you're the only you have. All right? Bye, y'all.